So first question is, when you start building instrument and why did you start this business?
I started actually when I first heard John Patitucci play. Because I was young and I was playing bass myself, and I heard him play the 6-string bass, and it just hit me. Wow, I gotta have a 6-string bass. But that was back in 1980, say 87, something.
87.
Yeah, and in Sweden we didn't have 6-string basses. And I only knew of 2 brands in the United States who made 6-string basses. And it was too difficult and expensive for me to go over there then and buy something. So I thought, well, I have to build my own 6-string bass. Yes. So I shouldn't make this story too long. But I went buy some wood, some nice mahogany and tiger maple top, and then my uncle was a carpenter and a carpenting teacher also. So I went to his place and he had some more woods for the neck, and he had a really nice Brazilian rosewood piece and stuff like that. Yes. So I stayed in his shop for like 3 days to cut out and assemble the pieces, and then I brought the bass with me to Stockholm, where I lived in a student home. So, and then I was sitting carving this bass in my room with hand tools, so the floor was covered with sawdust and you know, in my small apartment. But that was the first bass, but that was one I only built for myself for my playing. Then 2 years later I built another, a 4-string jazz kind of bass. And then people said, wow, you build so good basses, you should do this for a living. And I was, really? And I was playing a lot. And I got married, we got a small, we got a first kid. And my family or wife didn't want me to, or me either, did not want to be on the road playing. I mean, gone every weekend. And since I had already talked about and started to actually collect some woods and some tools for making instruments, we said, well, let's put more energy into try to make a brand and start building basses instead of just go out playing, because even if I might be able to work a lot, I would still be home. I'm not on the road, so to speak. So that actually, you can say Patitucci made me start build basses because I wanted a 6-string. And then
that is motivation.
Yes, and then to make it a business was I didn't want to be on the road playing.
Because you want more, you want to spend the time more.
Yeah, with my family.
Yeah.
And of course the people said, wow, you build this basses better than anything I've tried, so why shouldn't you do it? And I said, yeah, let's try.
Okay, it's a good answer to. And
cheers.
Yeah, cheers. And second question is, what is tone you ultimately seek?
The tone I seek depends on my mood. No, if I'm building something for myself, it depends on my mood or what I'm supposed to have the bass for. But ultimately, of course, nowadays it's for what the customer wants, in a way, because I have some different kind of I have more or less three series of basses. I would like to say that, and from those series, I can do custom orders also. So of course, if someone wants, I had one customer, one of my first customers was a girl, and she wanted a really high quality short scale bass. Because back then, like 15 years ago, 15 years ago, you couldn't find a good short scale bass on the market. They were all either plywood basses or old Fender Mustang basses that were not so good in shape, and maybe just one pickup and those things. Right. So she wanted like a jazz bass.
But short scale.
So I took what I already knew, because then I had built some basses during the years, and I had developed. I was sitting sounding wood pieces that I had, and I was thinking I had a lot of other basses that I disassembled and looked at how is this constructed and how could I do that better to enhance these frequencies or enhance this part of the sound or the feel. So that bass took me a while to build, but when it was ready, it really sounded. One other guy tried that bass and said, wow, this is the best jazz bass I've ever played, and it's a short scale. And then, for example, on that bass, when I was thinking about the wood, I did not want to use a lot of glue lines, for example, so it was a one-piece alder body. And since it was a 7/8 scale, a smaller scale, short scale, I made the body smaller, but then I made it 5 millimeters thicker, so I wouldn't lose so much wood, the mass. And of course I used the best maple I had, the best, actually I used...
Only use the best.
Yeah. And really, but looking for a short scale to be what I thought was the best for making the same sound as a long scale. I can't go into that because then I would talk about that small piece just for 2 hours, I guess, to find the right maple for the right scale. Anyway, and I used Wenji fretboard on that one, and this is getting long. But let's say that time we were looking for a good jazz bass sound, solid. But then, of course, if you want to have a 6-string bass, maybe you're not looking for the sound from a Fender, so then we're looking for something else. So, but let's say the ultimate goal, different tones for different situations, but what covers them all is I want an evenness in the sound. I want the low notes sound the same character as the high notes.
Very important.
Yes, the same volume and the same sound.
Yeah,
and that is also one reason why I almost always, 99% of the basses I build has a 0 fret.
Yeah.
And I have several reasons for that. But one is you get the same sound on open string as on fretted string. So the evenness in the sound. And then we can go into personal preferences in what I love, but that's for another story.
Yeah, okay. Among the many advantages of your product, what is the most appealing to your customers, especially Korean?
Yes, the most appealing to most customers, and you said especially the Korean customers. In a way, I should say we have to ask them. But what I believe and what I've heard, a lot of people say that you can hear the wood in my instruments. So as soon as I play or hear a Mattisson, I can hear with the woods. But maybe that's not the most appealing thing, but it's a trademark in a way. But I think that a lot of people love the neck shape. Most of the time I make shorter scale than normal, like a 33 instead of a 34 or 35, and sometimes even shorter. But even if I make a long scale, I have a neck shape that is not C shape or D shape. It's offset, but not as thin offset as some other brands that make offset. So it's kind of flat in the middle, but not flat like this, flat like this. Angled flat and then rounder, a little thicker on the upper part and a little thinner on the... And that makes chord playing very easy. Even if you have small hands or big hands. But also it gives the thumb a rest. It doesn't slip up. So that I think many customers are appealed to that.
Yeah, it's good to modern bass player because nowadays many bass player playing chord than before, and many bass player playing over 12 flat. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's a very good advantage. Okay, can we next talk about next question?
Yep. You know, if you get me started, I can talk like 7 hours for every question. So.
Funny thing is Tom Stanback, like you. Normally he a silent guy and you, but but when we start talk about bass and sound, endless time.
Endless. Yeah. And every little part. You can talk like hours about a screw.
Yeah.
How long it is, how thick it is, what material, and
we can talk
so let's skip that.
Okay, next question. What kind of music genre do you think your instrument suits?
There again, of course, since I make different basses.
Yeah.
I make series 1, 2, 3, 4. I have bolt-ons, I have neck throughs, single cuts and dual cuts.
Yeah.
Of course, they appeal to different kind of musicians. But also sound-wise, they are suitable more or less for different styles. Of course, I would say the most common player that plays my basses are kind of fusion guys.
Fusion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Because the Dirty Loops. Fusion.
Yeah, Dirty Loops Henrik. Yeah, he pop fusion.
Yeah, pop fusion because they music mix all
styles.
All style. Yeah, flat style, some like a Japan J fusion.
Yeah.
And a keyboard voicing come from jazz
and classical.
Yeah.
And then you have almost like house music.
Yeah, house music and just the pop, US pop and some. Yeah.
I would say they fit every style. But of course, different models fits more into different kinds of music. Of course. Yeah.
But you said, in your opinion, you wanted to many fusion bass players use the Mattisson bass.
Yeah, but also many session players.
Yeah, right.
TV guys and sitting in house bands, being able to play every style in one night and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, so it's a bonus question. It's your dream, something like that. Who would you like to work with, like Henrik? Next is your work with Yannick Guistara.
I know that there are some really famous guys that actually have my basses. I've seen them in their studios and stuff like that, and but they are not endorsed, just customers.
Inspired or something.
There are many guys that I really like, but let's say that the one that I said got me into building basses. The one I said, when I was listening to him, I said, I gotta make a 6-string bass. That was John Patitucci.
John Patitucci.
So maybe that would be the answer.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah, it's your hope. You always apply new ideas to instruments that cannot be found in other Lucia or company. So please let me know here if you have an idea that we haven't unveiled.
Well, just one. You know, I have a sickness. As soon as I'm not doing anything else, I start dreaming. And what do I dream of? New bass constructions. Actually, I have too many ideas in my head for a lifetime. From everything to everything. But yeah, let's unveil one idea that I'm working on now. Hopefully the first prototype for that is going to be ready maybe to NAMM or in a few months anyway. It's a pickup that's going to move back and forth. So instead of having two pickups, you have one pickup in a bigger hole, but it's smooth with a normal knob.
Yep.
I want to show. It's not totally. Some brands have made where you can lose a screw and push the pickup, but my idea is the pickup is going to be moved just by back and forth with turning a knob like this. So that is one idea I'm working on now.
It's a great idea because some people wanted to 60 pickup space.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people wanted to 70 or their own. They wanted to find the
sweet spot.
Yeah, sweet spot.
Yeah.
So
exactly, and that is what I'm looking for myself. A one pickup bass, but where you can. I need a little more growl, or I need some more warmth.
Yeah, or you can make two pickup bass. It's a fixed.
Yeah, of course. You can have a fixed and movable,
yeah.
and you can have two movable.
Wow. Wow.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one idea.
Yeah, but thank you.
Thank you.